Welcome to the channel if it's your first time here, and welcome back if it's not. Now last year you might have seen me do a video on this, and this is the Anthbot Pion robot lawnmower. And I'll be completely honest with you, I love it so much. It is really good. I think it's made me enjoy my garden a lot more because I haven't had to mow the lawn. This little guy's been doing it. Now there is one problem with this, and it's the fact that it uses a boundary wire. So I had to lay a wire around the garden where I wanted this guy to mow, which is fine in the most part, but there are a few tighter spots in the garden where the wire just wouldn't work. So I have to go and cut those little bits with a strimmer to keep them nice and tidy. But then the nice people at Anthbot got in touch with me about their Genie robot lawnmower, which has no boundary wire. It's sort of wireless. So in this video, we're going to say goodbye to Jared Mowing and install the brand new Anthbot Genie. And so yeah, we'll unbox it, we'll set it up, and then we'll test it. But first, I need to say goodbye to this and pull up the boundary wire so we can be ready to install the Anthbot Genie. Now, before I do anything, I need to disconnect the power. Well, it's bye-bye boundary wire. And here's our replacement. So this is the Anthbot Genie 600. Now there are 3 different variations of this. We've got the 600 and there are 2 more. And basically it depends on what size your lawn is for the one you get. Now, as we've got a fairly small lawn, we've gone for the 600. But if you've got bigger lawns, then you can go for the higher models. They've just got bigger batteries essentially. So this knows where it is because it uses something called an RTK sensor, which is almost like a sort of small satellite dish that you mount, and it can sort of map out the garden with it. And as well as that, it's got quad vision. So that means it's got 4 cameras in the unit itself to see its way around the garden. So it can see where the grass is and where obstacles are. And it's got AI in it that knows 1,000 different obstacles and sort of how to move around them in the best possible way. Now you can map out your lawns by yourself by sort of trundling it around and doing it in the app, but it does also have auto mapping. So it will go around the lawn and work out where everything is. And yeah, it will do it all by itself. It's very smart. And like I mentioned, it comes with an app, so you can start it and configure it via the app, which I think is fantastic. I think it's a really clever app, and it gives you complete control over your lawn. But this does also have AI lawn care, where it knows what the weather's going to be like, how much it's going to rain, if it's going to be too hot or too cold. And if it's not right to mow the lawn, it won't mow the lawn. It knows when is the best optimal time to mow your lawn. It's very smart. Now the Anthbot Genie 600, which is the model we've got, retails at around about £900. And if you look at the other models that have a bigger battery life, the prices go up accordingly. So this isn't a cheap lawnmower, but it's got a lot of technology inside it. I'm hoping it's not too hot and sunny today to mow the lawn because I want to show you it in action. But before I can do that, I guess we need to get it out of the box. Okay, so we've got a quick start guide and an instruction manual. And these are the poles that our RTK sensor stands on. Oh, okay, and look. That is the RTK sensor there. Right, so we've just got our power cables, power adapter, got some ground pegs to put the base in with. We've got a few ground pegs to put the wires in so they sort of can be neatly on the ground. And this metal thing is the base for the RTK sensor to put it into the ground. Nice. And I guess this is where our new friend is. Yep, he's quite heavy. And then underneath this packaging, we've got our base. Right, okay, let's get this all in position and start setting it up. So the instructions recommend that it's actually facing onto the grass this way, which is 90 degrees different from how it was when we had the boundary wire, which is fine. So I've just spun it around, and it recommends having at least 2 meters in all directions, which it does. Now, I will say that this isn't going to be our final position for this, but it's just easier for me to film the video at this point. We're actually going to tuck it away in a bit of the garden that's actually sort of slightly out of sight, so it's not in the middle of the lawn anymore. But I will have to get some grass seed. So around the back here, we've got our connections, and this 2-pin plug here is for the power, from the power adapter to come into, and this 3-pin one is for our RTK sensor. So yeah, you can't get them muddled up because they're keyed differently, but the one with the red is for the power. This weird guy here is the ground stake for the RTK sensor pole. So essentially it needs to go into the ground, and it has to be within a metre of the base. I think that's just to do with the cable length. I don't think that's actually a hard limit, because you can get an extension cable. Like with the base, this isn't going to be the final position for this, it's just for the purposes of the video. So I've just roughly put the mount for the RTK sensor into the ground. You would put this fully hard into the ground, but because I'm going to pull it up and move it after I finish filming this, I didn't want to go too crazy, but it's nice and solid, and the sensor won't be going anywhere. So now we've got to screw in the 4 ground pegs at the corner of the base. So now it's time to get our RTK pole installed onto the bracket. So the pole just sort of presses together, and then the base end is where we've got the little spinny guy at the end of the connector. So we'll just screw it into our base. And then yeah, we've got the little dish. It's got an aerial and the connector on it. And we essentially just have to screw it on like that. Nice. And then we join the connector, which I can't do one-handed. There we go. Connection is made off. We just got to hook it up at the bottom now. Okay, so just got our 3-pin connector guy. Screw that in position. Nice. Then we just got to hook up the power. Nice. So it's difficult to see, but we've got a status light here. And there we go, it's getting signal now. Green is good. Solid green is better. There we go. So this disc knows where it is. So now this is all set up, we can get the lawnmower onto the base to start charging and set it up on the app. Well, you might have noticed that I'm indoors now, and basically it is absolutely roasting out there. And I'm overheating and my camera's overheating. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd come inside and set up the lawnmower in the app. I'm literally right next to the garden, so the Bluetooth connection should reach my phone. So I've got the Anthbot Genie app set up. It is a different app to the original Anthbot that I had, and you have to sign up and create a login for it. So I've already done that. So let's go into add device. Yeah, device is powered on, and Bluetooth on your phone turns on near the device, hopefully near enough. So it's asking to allow the use of my location. I'll allow while using the app. Yes, we'll allow it to find Bluetooth devices. And now it's doing a search for it. And there we go, it's found it straight away. So if we press connect, okay, so it's asking for the pin code. So the default is 4 zeros. Cool. Okay, so it's wanting a new pin code. So I will enter a new pin code. Right, okay, so yeah, I think I'm just going to keep its name as it was before. Jared Mowing. Rename and bind the device. Cool. So it's having a little think. Bluetooth is connected. Now it uses 2.4G Wi-Fi to connect to your home network. Now I think it can operate off Wi-Fi if needed, but the Wi-Fi just gives it a bit more of a stable connection. So we'll set up the Wi-Fi connection, but I'm obviously going to have to blur some of this because it's got my home Wi-Fi details. So it's found the Wi-Fi that I use at home, and it's just asking me for the login. So now it's hopefully all connecting up. There we go, it's connected, and the lawnmower actually talks. You won't be able to hear it, but we'll probably hear it when we're outside. So we can see Jared Mowing is charging. He's at 97% battery. Let's enter the device and have a little look around and see what we can see. Okay, so it needs a firmware update. We're on version 1.3.0 and the upgrade is 1.9.4, so that's quite an upgrade. So we'll let that happen, and yeah, we'll set it to automatically update the firmware. And yeah, it's just showing on the screen there some of the bugs that are fixed in this version. So yeah, it's doing the firmware update now. Seems to be going pretty quickly. Well, there we go. It's a couple of minutes later. The firmware update's all done and the device has restarted. So hopefully now we can enter device and see what's going on. So let's do that. Okay, so there's no map yet. Now, like I said earlier, you can either do it manually by controlling the device, or you can get it to do it for you. I'm going to let it do it for me just to see how it works, but we'll go outside and do that in a mo. If we go into the tab in the corner here, we can see some of the settings. So there's quite a lot here. So we've got schedule, so you can set the lawnmower to come on and cut the lawn at certain times. I don't imagine map management's going to work. Oh, okay, so you can go in and edit your map and expand your map. Now this can have multiple maps. So if, for example, you've got a lawn that's in sort of 3 pieces that you don't want mowed, you can actually create multiple maps for each lawn. So it doesn't just do one area. And that's the sort of beauty of a device that doesn't use a boundary wire. Now another setting is rain perception. It's got a sensor on the top of it that can sense rain. So usually you want to have that switched on. So if it starts raining while it's mowing the lawn, it will then go back to its base and stop until the rain has stopped, and then go out and carry on from where it left off, which is really cool. And then a vision inspection. So this is where we use the cameras on the device to sense the settings around us. So you can turn it off completely, so it will just sort of bowl around, but we'll keep it on, and we'll keep the sensitivity level at medium. Voice settings, okay, so you can turn the voice on or off. You can change the language and you can reduce the volume. I'm going to leave it on for now because I think it's quite funny, but I imagine it will probably get a bit tiresome. So we can turn it right off. Firmware update, so you can update the firmware manually. Upload the log, so that's if you're having any troubles with it, you can upload logs to the Anthbot support department and they'll be able to see what's going on, which is quite handy to have. Manual control, so I imagine, oh my god, it's just starting it up. I don't want to do that. Yeah, let's go back. I don't think the dog's outside, but it's okay because it's got the cameras, so it won't mow over the dog. What else we got? Reset pin code, restore factory settings, rename, mowing records. So it will keep a record of each time it's mowed and how much it's done, you know, if you're interested in that. And yeah, device info, user manual. There's a lot of stuff in this app, and yeah, it's just in standby at the moment, waiting to go. But I quite like that you can use it as a remote control lawnmower and drive it around using the controls on the screen. But I think I want to let it do it all by itself. So I think what we'll do now is we'll head back outside and we'll map the lawn and see how that goes. But I think we might need the drone for that. So we'll go into the lawnmower, into device, and do create map, just giving us some safety tips. The light is green and it says GPS on top of the device. Next. Okay, so it's wanting me to do remote control, but I think I'm going to do it in auto mode to see how that works. So let's put it in auto. Confirm. So now it's going to automatically map the lawn. So it's just trundling around the garden, getting a sense of where everything is. So I'm going to step back and go on the path here, and I think I'm just going to let it do its thing. I'll come back if it does anything weird or untoward. Now I'm just following it around just to make sure it's all safe, but it looks okay. It's looking good. Okay, well, it went round and made a pretty good map. It did get a bit confused over in the corner there where there's an edge of patio and a small strip of grass. I can tweak that once we get going. So let's just make it mow the lawn, shall we? And you can see what it's doing on the map. Now I wonder what happens if I annoy it and stand in front of it. Yep. It doesn't crash into me, it doesn't go anywhere near me, it just stops and turns around and goes back. Well, let's let it do its job and come back in a second. While the lawn is being mowed by our Anthbot Genie, let's shout out our channel members. Now, channel members have gone one step above subscribing to the channel and offer a small monthly donation to help support it. If you want to become a channel member, then just scan the QR code in the corner of the screen or follow the link in the description. Anyway, our channel members at time of editing this month are the Kip fans, who are Matt Lovey's JRC Electrical, For the Burbs, Wayne Cornish, Scott Made a Thing, Draco MacGyver, Rebecca, Gigsy80, Christiane, Francesco Demare, and Music Me. Then you have to get up super early to beat the Kip early birds, who are Tim Salt, Sorcerer Stan, Mark C, and Rob Lynn. Then, oh my word, I love these people. They are the Kip lovers, and they are Bella Webster, Stez Stixfix, Lawrence, Scott Kendall, Props Retrofix, Coaster Chelsea, DD Media Production, Lee Benz, Ann and David Hughes, Danielle Adele, and James and Danny. Then we have got the nuttiest people of them all. Well, maybe. They are the Kip Nutters, and they are Becky Boobar and Alan Green. But breaking news, we have got a Kip Mental in the house. Welcome, RJ Prate. You are our Kip Mental, and you are very much appreciated and loved. So thank you so much for becoming a Kip Mental, and big love to all my channel members, no matter what level you're at. Anyway, I think this lawn is nearly done. So there we go. It's done its initial mow and returning back to the dock. Pretty good. Even though this is equipped with all the cameras and AI technology, it's also reassuring to know that on the top here there is just a big red stop button, and if there's any problems you can just hit that and the robot will completely stop in its tracks, and it won't start again until you've entered the PIN number onto it. So it is very, very safe. As well as having all the inbuilt technology, there's a nice manual control that you can hit and it will stop it immediately. Now you might be looking at this and wondering where all the grass cuttings go. Well, they don't really go anywhere. Basically, the idea of most robot lawnmowers is they sort of cut on a little and often basis. So because this is cutting more frequently, there's less grass to cut with each pass of it. So that means that all it's really making is tiny little fragments of grass, and what those actually do is just go back into the soil and break down, and apparently it helps the grass grow. So yeah, there's not a big basket on the back that collects the grass. You don't need to empty it. It just makes very fine cuttings that go into the lawn and make everything grow better. Now, while we're talking about cutting, when I did the mapping, it didn't go right up to the edges. It was a little bit cautious, and that's okay because you can alter the edge settings. Let me go into my phone and I'll show you how we do that. So if we go into the mower and then go into edge and then click on the map icon, we can actually manage how the edges are cut. And essentially you can add parameters for each individual edge, or just for me to demonstrate it quickly, I'll just do all edges and then click on the edit icon, And so when it comes to the edges, you can have a different cutting height, and you can also tell it how far away from the edge you want to overlap. So you can make it so it's 5mm, 10mm, 15mm, and 20. And there's that handy graphic on the screen to help you understand how that will work. So for example, I think I want to set it to be 15mm from the edge, and we don't need to go quite so low on the edges. So I'm just going to set it to 40mm cutting height. We hit save, and then we're done. And as you can see, the map has now got that sort of edge around it to demonstrate that the edge is all set up. Now, I mentioned earlier this can use AI and adapt to when is the best time to mow the lawn. If you want to switch that on, you've got this little icon down in the bottom left corner of the screen. So if we press on him, we've got the smart lawn care feature. Enable. It's doing something whizzy, and there we go. It says, after smart lawn care feature is enabled, the robot will adjust the mowing strategy intelligently based on the growth of the grass. And it essentially sort of starts a schedule and adapts to what's best for the grass. Now, when it comes to mowing the lawn, we do have some settings. So at the moment, it's just set up to just mow the edges if we want to, or we can do the full map. Or if you have various zones, so if you've got different sections of your gardens that are, say, separated by paths, you'd have different zones, or you can just do a spot mow. But we'll just press on the full map for now, and then we'll press onto the cog icon. So now we can change the parameters of the mow. So you can choose whether it goes over the lawn once or twice. You can change the cutting height, and really interestingly, you can change the angle at which the lawnmower mows. So if you want to cut it at a 90 degree and then 180 degree, so it sort of makes a crisscross pattern, you can do that. Or if you just want to make it sort of slightly more interesting and set it on a 45 degree angle, you can. And it shows you there at the bottom how that cuts in relation to where the base station is. So if we change it to 115, I mean, you can get very precise here. There we go, 115. I think it will cut in the direction that it's facing now. Changed angle will take effect in the next new mission. Love it. And it's worth mentioning just how quiet it is. This is what it sounds like. I haven't tweaked the audio, I haven't turned it up or turned it down. This is how loud this lawnmower is. Now, the Anthbot Genie is not a cheap device, but I really do think that a robot lawnmower is worth it. It's quite an investment, really. One of the jobs I hated most about having a garden was doing the lawn mowing. And yeah, I just want something that will make my life that little bit easier. And having a robot lawnmower going around doing it all for me is ideal. So I actually get a bit more time to enjoy the garden rather than caring for the garden. Now, what I really like about this is it's got so many settings that you can tweak and change. And because there's the freedom of not having the boundary wire, you can adapt it really easily within the software. You don't have to pull up the boundary wire and move things around or make adjustments like that or worry about the wire breaking. It just goes round of its own accord. As long as we've got a good signal on the dish up there, it will just work happily, and it just makes life so much easier. So yes, it is a massive investment. It is a lot of money, but in the long term, it will pay off for you. And really the only sort of maintenance you have to do is just keep it clean, give it a rinse down every so often, and then change the blades if needed. And that's as simple as picking it up, turning it over, and unscrewing these 5 little guys here. Doesn't get much easier. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting a robot lawnmower, I would definitely look at this one. And if you want something a little bit cheaper and you don't mind the boundary wire, then definitely look at the Anthbot Pion. Summer has started And I know now that our lawn is going to look in tip-top condition thanks to this guy. Now, if you've got any questions about robot lawnmowers or anything, then do make sure you put them in the comments and I'll try my best to answer. I don't know everything, but I'll do my best. I don't think I've got anything else to say, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but for now, it's game over.